I'm Donna and I have a tea business called Unravel Tea. I specialise in single origin tea, and for those of you who may not know what that is, that's what it says in the tin. It's tea from a single origin, it's not blended. A lot of tea in this country is blended, so in the Western world we kind of embrace, you can get the same thing again and again and again. Whereas in kind of Chinese society especially, they actually embrace the difference. They embrace, the nuances within this tea. Like one tea harvest to the next is going to be completely different. It's just kind of bringing that to the Western world, I suppose, is what I'm trying to do.
Instead of having, do you mean normally tea is kind of mixed to be the same for everyone?
Exactly, yes. Yeah. So it's blended, so it was always blended. So you get people who work for, you've probably seen documentaries about it, and they work for Tetley, and they're always blending the tea so it's exactly the same, but it might be a different recipe every time because each flush, each harvest is completely different. So, but what I really enjoy about tea is the differences in it. And you can get some absolutely amazing teas. You need to know where to look is one of the issues. Yeah.
And where do you source your tea from?
So I source the majority of my teas directly from the tea farmer themselves. So I've got contacts in China and various provinces in China. I've got Taiwan as well. I'm starting with more Indian ones as well, so watch this space for that.
That's exciting. I'm looking for the Darjeeling.
I think everybody is at the moment.
Yeah. And how did you get started? What made you kind of enthusiastic about it?
About tea in general, I went to China in 2004. And as probably as most other people think, they think green tea is really bitter. Why would you bother with this? And you're always told about all the health benefits, but you taste it and you're like, not sure about this. But when I was there, I was handed cup after cup of green tea, and it was amazing. It was sweet. It was just eye-opening. Mm-hmm. So my cousin, who I was there with, can speak Mandarin as well, thankfully, took me to this lovely Chinese tea shop, this little kind of traditional thing where we all sat really low to the ground. She did the gong fu cha, the Chinese tea ceremony with us, and I walked out of that shop with about 2.5 kilograms of tea.
Wow.
So, yeah. So when I came back, I tried to find, I'd been drinking it, and I thought, right, okay, I need to find this tea so I can buy it here. And I went into shops, and people had no idea what I was talking about. They told me it didn't exist. So I started just sourcing my tea in, when I say small quantities, China, they only really give you 250 grams. That's a small quantity for them. So I started sourcing it from China. 2016, I was given an opportunity to actually do something else that's a little bit more out of the box. And I thought, there must be more than me that's looking for good tea.
So how did you get started? Did you have any help, or where did you go to get?
Business Gateway were absolutely amazing. I had a lot of if you have things that you're I don't know where this is, I have no idea if this is even going to work, go to them. They assign you a person, and they are absolutely fantastic.
Did you kind of have the idea for a while, and then you just decided to go for it?
Not actually. So I'd had an interest in tea for a long time. Been drinking tea for a very long time. But I made a friend in America, and I made her up a care package of teas because she was interested in single origin teas as well. And I sent it to her, and I'd also, on the herbal side of things, I've been doing herbal infusions and things and mixing them for friends and family for probably about 2 or 3 years before that as well. I've done some for her too, and she actually said to me, she was like, have you never thought of taking this and making this into a business? And that was kind of what planted the seed. Mm-hmm. So then when I actually found myself at work, I thought, wait a minute, why don't I do something with this? Why don't I obviously utilise my time? And
where can you buy your tea?
So I've got a web shop. I also have some stockists in Aberdeen. Aberdeen Wellbeing Centre, she's an amazing little shop down there. It is so lovely. She's very new stockist. I think she's only had my tea in there for about a month and a half now. You can also find my tea out in Geek Bothy in Kennedy as well, and she's got a lovely shop as well. And you can also find a very small selection of some of my teas in Nature's Larder as well.
What would you say to anyone who's kind of thinking about doing something different, but maybe they're a little bit scared and they don't know where to start?
Business Gateway. Definitely start Business Gateway, because even if you've got any worries about anything, they will help guide you.
What's your kind of like vision for the future? Like, do you have an idea of where you want to go?
To supply to cafes, definitely. I'd love to supply to cafes. I'm actually doing a workshop as well in a couple of weeks, and I hope to do more workshops because I love speaking to people about it,
Yeah.
and educating people about it, and just kind of spending time with people and kind of, expanding their knowledge and hopefully my knowledge as well.
Which tea are we going to try?
Well, I've got two here. I have a very light oolong tea, or I've got Chinese black tea.
I think we'll go for that.
Yeah, we'll go for the oolong tea.
Can you explain a little bit about kind of like how the Chinese do their tea differently?
Yeah, of course I can. Yeah. So this is a gaiwan. Basically translates to lidded bowl, which is what it is. It's a traditional Chinese brewing vessel. So what they do is they put a lot more tea leaf to a lot less water, but that also means you don't brew it for as long. Because of that, you also get like all the kind of like smaller nuances coming through, sweetness, floral things, because you don't brew it for so long. You don't get the tannins coming through, so they don't overpower those little things. Whoops. Right, so just let it here because I'm going to have to use it a few times. Actually what I'll do is I will put it in here and we'll show you first. So that's what the tea looks like.
Okay. So it's quite chunky.
Yeah, it's tiny. It looks like really small leaves. You'll see it once it's actually absorbed the water though. So this is about 5 grams and it's about 170 millilitres of water. As you can see, the ratio of water to leaf is a lot. Like higher, lower, higher.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll have a look at it once it swells up a bit.
So because it's a rolled oolong, it takes a little while to unfurl, so I need to do a bit of a wash in it as well.
So is this how you'd make your tea at home too?
Yes, I always make it like this because it tastes so much better.
I've obviously tried some of your tea, but
Yeah.
you just used one of the, what do you call it, like the standard pots with the tea holder in the middle.
That's okay though. Yeah, that's fine.
Is that what you could use if you don't have the whole set?
That's absolutely fine as well. Yeah, it's no problem at all. I mean, you can do it anyway. I mean, you can also just leave like this would actually be okay if you just left it in the cup, because the tea actually sinks once it's ready to drink as well. So you can just drink it that way as well. Right, I'm gonna have to count in my head. So if you do ask me any questions,
okay, you count. I won't ask anything. How long did you leave it for?
About 18 seconds. Rolled oolongs, you need to adjust the time a little bit because it takes a little bit of, especially the first infusion, it takes a little bit of time for the leaf to unfurl. You'll see they're starting to unfurl. That's still not full.
Oh, okay. So do you do it a few times?
Oh yeah, you can use it up to like 10 times, I think.
Oh wow.
So what I'll do is I'll give you a wee bit in the tasting cup first, see what you think. There you go.
Oh, that is so cute. Look at that. Oh, that is really good. It's really, really fresh. It kind of tastes smoky as well.
There's smokiness in this one. I think everybody gets something different. I don't like telling people what they're going to get very specifically.
Or okay.
Possibly, yeah. Let me try it.
That's delicious. I really like that. It's so fresh.
Really fresh, isn't it? Mm-hmm. This is a spring tea, and it's 4 seasons. It's a Taiwanese oolong.
That's so nice.
Give me some in a bigger cup.
Oh yeah, I need to get some of this. It's really good. Thank you. Lovely.
Do another infusion as well. So.
How come it tastes different when you do it a second time round?
It's just because it's just at a different stage of the leaves being infused, and it just gets all the flavours out of it. I just think everybody should brew tea this way.
So if someone wants to come on one of your workshops, where would they go to book your workshop?
So it's actually through my website. So it's just on www.unraveltea.com, and just go to the shop, and I think it's actually the first listing in the shop. It's got the workshop. There's only 2 spaces left for the evening one now. So.
And you can buy your tea on there too?
Yes, you can, indeed you can.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much for telling me all about your tea.
Thank you so much for having me.